and builder, Dr. Sebi. Give it up for him. And bringing him out, Sister Marina.
A revolutionary man with an evolutionary message. We give thanks for Dr. Sebi being here with us today, bringing healing for the Black woman. Give thanks.
Welcome. Salutation. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. Brothers and sisters, here we are. Back again with you, Philadelphia. You know, Philadelphia was the second place that I gave a speech in my life. I was just telling my brothers when they called back. When I was asked to do a speech in Los Angeles, they asked me because people were being healed, but I was a steam engineer. And when I walked on the stage, I got choked up. I couldn't say anything, unlike tonight. You made me possible. You educated me. You shaped me to this. It is with your help that I got to this level of understanding. You did that. I came here as a Christian. I learned a lot of things. A lot of beautiful things in Christianity. And I joined Islam. I met the messenger. I knew Malcolm. And the Brotherhood. Well, I used to be hungry many times and they fed me. This was in New Orleans. Then I got into Buddhism. And then I got into this. And what is this I got into? Something that has been hidden. Something that was very much necessary for you and I to know. But as I talk about my little life, I'm 81 now, it seems as though it went by so fast. I feel cheated. It went by so fast. So this is something that was always pulling me. I was never satisfied with anything. And one day, something appeared on the horizon. A black woman in the jungles of Africa without no clothes on. I said, what? But this image of the black woman in the forest kept reverberating in my head. One night I even had a dream because I put the television on, channel 850. That's the jazz station. John Coltrane was playing a tune, but I was asleep. But I was hearing this tune in my dream. The tune was Interstellar Space. When I woke up, that black woman that was chasing me for these 2 years revealed herself to me. Oh God, I couldn't take it. I was excited because my friends in New Orleans and in California were entertaining Socrates and Plato, Aristotle, Diogenes, John Stuart Mill, Coleridge. I could call these names because I listened to them. But I'm sticking with this black woman. Then I met this group that was going to Egypt. But for some reason, I was never really attached and I didn't vibrate with Egypt. Why, I don't know. But I just didn't. They did. So they went back to Egypt and came back with souvenirs. But when I went to Africa, I went to the jungles of this naked black woman. And I came back with Kankansa, Pupa, Marula, Hudia, and Sia. And I began to cure people of diseases. They went to Egypt. They came back with souvenirs. And they were talking about Ramses and Nefertiti. Well, that doesn't connect the dots today. We are sick. Including your brother Sebi. We are all sick. And why not? We've been eating the wrong food. 500 years now. Our biological structure is not as strong as it were when they took us away from the continent. That is what I am talking about. You and I have been victims. We have been recipients of every ism and schism and philosophy in the world. But the one thing that they didn't bring to us was Mama. Mama was left out. And you and I was taught as little boys, and I still hear it in my ear from my grandmother. Honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days may be long upon the land. You don't tell that to an elephant. That elephant knows what Mama ate. That lion, they say he was the king of the jungle. But he knows what Mama ate. Do we know what Mama ate? We don't know. We don't know. Oh, that's good. It doesn't mean that we're ignorant. It doesn't mean that we are lacking off intelligence. All of us in here are intelligent. You are. All of us are. Now, when I began the research to get to this level of understanding, I began to see that Mama was the key. How did she connect the dots today? That naked woman in the jungle. She didn't have a hospital. She didn't have a doctor. She didn't have any medicine. She didn't have any disease. But how could she have been sick? It was impossible for Mama to be sick. Why? She didn't have any rice, beans, chicken, hog, lamb, goats. She didn't have any cows. She didn't eat rice and beans and potatoes and yam. She didn't have any of that. These are the very things that makes her sick. But she didn't have that. She didn't eat carrots. How and what did she eat? You know what? Philadelphia. I'm running at 81. And I'm putting my body through a test right now. Today, is 61 days since I put something in my mouth to eat. I have not eaten in 61 days. And I hope that some of us in this group will follow an advice I'm about to impart. But we're going to finish with Mama first. We want to show how Mama connected us. But I was told on the continent by a brother African that we need no food. Because you can't tell me what we ate. You know why? They didn't tell you and I what we ate, what Mama ate. I suppose that was intentionally done for whatever reason. But now, we are beginning to see that a light has come to us, shining very bright. Because when I won the case in 1988, proving that I cured AIDS, proving that I cured sickle cell and the rest of the diseases, nobody paid attention. You know why they didn't? 26 years ago, it wasn't time. It wasn't time. So, as I go back to Mama, to connect the dots, Mama lived in an alkali environment. How could you go wrong? Mama didn't have to know anything about hydrogen ion concentration. Mama didn't have to know anything about Moses and Socrates. She didn't need that. Because she was cosmically connected. And because of her, I began to do the research in synergizing or integrating alkali plants. This is yet to be done today in America or anywhere in the world. Whenever you pick up an herbal compound or a menu or a prescription, you will always find aloe vera. You will always find golden seal. You will always find ginseng and noni and moringa. Why? Who educated us in the science of biochemistry? Are there any organization that is dedicated to the research of biochemistry to help us to understand what it is that we need to do and how we should go about doing it? I'm not smarter than you. I'm the boy that didn't go to school. I'm the boy that didn't like anything. Well, why not? I didn't like anything. It wasn't my fault. No. Nature called me out this way. But in my little world, I was able to see that there was a difference with me and a Chinaman, with me and a white person, with me and an Eskimo. I am genetically different. I didn't do that. We didn't do that. That was the arrangement. Now that we see that there is a difference, has that difference been treated? Has it? No, it hasn't. And the message didn't come to us. And I hate that I have to bring it, because I have something about me that I don't like. I'm arrogant. Yes, I am. I have a bit of arrogance in me, because my mother told me, you're crazy. You're to talk down to people to know they were supposed to know. I said, that is correct. I'm standing before you tonight as your brother, having to share this information with you. I don't need to do that, and you don't need that either. What you mean? You don't go in the forest and find one gorilla talking to a group of gorillas. What one gorilla knows, all gorilla knows. But because we were severed from Mama, now we are at the discretion. We are vulnerable to the discretion of others. I am a Buddha. I am a Christian. I am a Muslim. Oh, I believe in Yah. I believe, hey, that is telling us we came from the same mother with all these expressions. And me, I join all of them. You know why? Because I have to love all of them. It is simple as that. Because I'm not better than you. I could not be better than you. It was impossible for me to be better than you. We have the same organs, the same structure. I'm not better than you. I just have information that creep through. And I was able to be the recipient. Herbs, the life of herbs began with creation. Geology called it native plants. Why did geologists call a natural plant a native plant? Because they are electrical. They came with the planet. Anything that originates with the planet has electricity. Why? Because their structure is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. That's the structure. And because of this CHO structure, it makes them electrical. Meaning that what nature produces is good for our body. Electric plant, electric body. That's called chemical affinity. Electric plant, electric body. Chemical affinity. There is assimilation. There is digestion. But when you eat rice or beans or a hog or lamb especially, because lamb is at the top of the list, is dangerous. It is one of the most dangerous meats you can put in your mouth. So when you put these things in your mouth, do you know what you're really doing? No, we don't know. I didn't know. I asked my mother, what you and Daddy used to eat before you had made me? Crabs, conchs, lobster, shrimps, hog, lamb, goat. I said, is that the reason why I was born with asthma? A baby born sick. But that's me. I don't know why I'm able to be up here with you tonight at 81. All my brothers are dead. They didn't listen. They thought I was joking when I told them, don't eat this stuff. But they couldn't stop. Why? Because they had no idea that rice and beans and blood and starch is more addictive than cocaine. Yeah, I know that to be a fact because I used to use cocaine as a merchant sailor. Nobody, you see, And I used to get it $100 an ounce. Where? I was a merchant seaman. I used to go to Peru. Callao, the name of the place. Oh, we used to have cocaine. We threw it in the air when Christmas comes. But I left cocaine, but I didn't leave those rice and beans in New Orleans. You see, I was addicted. My brothers were too. Addicted. They died. And I'm the eldest. Why they couldn't listen? One of them was a preacher. I said, hey, young man, let me look in the book of Genesis. Oh, the herbs are for healing. In the book of Ezekiel, oh, the herbs are for healing. And the book of Revelation. How come you can't see that? Look, you marijuana smoker, you don't talk to me. I said, I just said God in heaven true. I smoke marijuana. But God made that. He didn't make that cane, that made that alcohol that you drink. He died. But he's my brother, and I love him. Tonight, the message to you is this. I don't care what herbs I give you. If you don't stop eating what doesn't belong in your mouth, you are in trouble. What belongs in your mouth are those things that resonate with your DNA, your chemical composition. If it doesn't resonate with you, you better leave it alone. You see, this information wasn't privileged in the schools because it wasn't supposed to be. What you mean? I'm going to teach some black people how to get healthy? Or they didn't know? Which is it? I don't know. But the job is on us to make ourselves healthy. Tonight, we have to thank the Chinese, we have to thank Europe, we have to thank India, we have to thank Arabia for trying to help us with our disease state. But they failed. They have failed miserably. Not because they wanted to. I'm not going to say that because I don't know that. But this I do know, that our health depends on us. No one else on the planet but us. But the beautiful thing about it, that the message from that naked woman in the forest is going to save us because it done wonders for me. You need to know that. Now, the question should be asked, do we have the right to heal ourselves? Do we? I think so. Since we have the right, we found out that to heal our body, we need to give it alkali substance. But the herbalist today and yesterday is giving us the herb that I mentioned, golden seed, donqua, and tutti things. They're giving us moringa. These things are acid-based. I didn't use any of them because I had to do research before coming to you. I wanted to come to you with a complete package. I didn't want to come to you with something that was halfway, because you don't deserve that. I am your brother, and I'm going to come to you with something other than that which would help you. Then what am I doing? I'm a liar. I'm your enemy. If I bring you something from China or Europe, I'm not helping you, because that is not our origin. So if you bring me something that isn't from the jungle, you are offending me. You don't like me. Because anything else is violating me. Remember, the forest is the one that produces the alkali substance. And that's what we need. So in doing this research, Dr. Sebi, he began by selecting these herbs from the forests of Africa, Central and South America, the United States and Mexico. Yes, we found a cure for the diseases. When I put that ad in the newspapers in New York, my mama told me, hey boy, you're gonna go to jail. But you're gonna put the ad in it. And there was a young brother that used to be with me in Washington, D.C., but he was in Zamoyo. We put the ad together. AIDS has been cured by the Usher Research Institute. And we specialize in lupus, herpes, cancer, sickle cell, blindness, diabetes, and others. I took the ad to New York, printed the papers, and lo and behold, here come the police. Are you Alfredo Bowman, a.k.a. Dr. Sebi? I am that person. Well, you here are indicted by the Supreme Court, the grand jury, practicing medicine without a license, claiming to cure AIDS, selling without the permission of the FDA. You going to jail. When I got to jail, the policeman or officer that's going to book me, put the numbers on my chest. He looked at the detective and said, you guys messed up. The detective said, why? This man cures. I said, how do you know that? He said, because you cured me of gout. I said, I have never seen you. He said, I sent a black policeman to tell you that he had gout. He brought me the medicine. I don't have gout anymore. I asked him, why did you come? He said, because I heard one of your speeches, man, and I don't know if you love white people. I said, man, are you jiving? I think you're joking. I said, after all what you have done to us, we fight wars for you. We die for you. Can't you see who we are? We can't hate you. My DNA doesn't carry that message. I mean, look at me. He said, man, thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. You see, do we have to hate white people or Chinese or Eskimo to be black? No, you don't. You don't have to hate anybody. You better start loving everybody. Why? Because in loving someone, having the ability to love someone, it means that you love yourself. course. How could you love me and you don't love yourself? That's simple, isn't it? So now, brothers and sisters, why are we sick today? And we are intelligent. We got scholars, paleontologists, archaeologists, historians, scholars. We got sages, but none of them knew what to put in our mouth. Then they tell us, you know, when they destroyed the black man, they destroyed Timbuktu. They destroyed Timbuktu? Yeah. And they took all of the knowledge from Timbuktu. Knowledge? Man, what's that? What is knowledge? What exists on this planet that I'm supposed to know, other than that which goes in my mouth? What is so important about Timbuktu? We better find out what goes in our mouth. Because if you don't know that, you're going to live stressed. And I don't care how much money you have, or how many cars you have. I don't care what you have. Your health better be right. Right now, I'm struggling. I want to rid myself of some of the residuals of stuff in my body. And I feel good today. I feel very good. I can see that if I didn't go on this fast, boy, if I reach 2 years more, I would have reached a lot. Because what kept on coming out of me the first month, I don't remember eating. Yeah? So, brothers, it is about knowing what goes in your mouth. I don't care how many books you read. I haven't read any. I don't read books. But I heard information that came to me, and it didn't come from a black man or a black woman. It didn't come from a white man or Chinese. It came from Mexico. In 1964, I had asthma. I was impotent. I was obese. I was angry and diabetic. After traveling to Russia, I saw doctors in St. Petersburg, doctors in England, in the United States, in Africa, Chinese, herbalists. I went to Mexico with the recommendation of a brother Muslim, Ronald Evans, New Orleans, Louisiana. He called me and said, there is a man in Mexico that's going to heal you. I said, you out of your mind. Why? I said, because I've been around the world. How could he be in Mexico? Well, he's there. And you better go. I went to Mexico. The man asked me, where are you from? I'm from Honduras. I speak Spanish like you. He said, I can't talk to you because you're blind. You from where? I'm from Honduras. I was born in Honduras. I did not ask you where you were born. That I didn't ask. I asked, where are you from? Because black folks That's Maya Paya Lenka. Where you from? Oh, I'm from Africa. Now we could talk. Did you know, he said, that because you are from Africa, you are of a genetical predisposition different from everybody else. So all that stuff that you've been eating, you better stop. It doesn't resonate with you. How long am I supposed to stop eating? 90 days. 90 days? I'm gonna die. You say, are you out of your mind? You say, the stuff you've been eating been killing you. What kept you alive? Oxygen. So if you start eating the garbage and just inhale oxygen, you live forever. And I did it. And here I am in front of you, 51 years later. I was 30 years of age. What I learned later, there is a little frog in Puerto Rico. They call this frog the coqui. At night, coqui, coqui, coqui. That's all you hear at night. They put you to sleep. If you move that frog from Puerto Rico and put it 9 kilometers away, a little island named Vieques, alongside of Puerto Rico, the frog dies. The frog will die, never to see again. You believe today that I'm not sick. You think we are not sick? When I was taken away from the continent of Africa and given hog to eat, the Arabs gave me lamb, which has the anthrax germ, which they found in the core of AIDS. You think we're not sick? When I go to Africa and they ask me for my passport, I say, but hey man, they took me away from here 400 years ago. And you mean to tell me that if I don't have a passport, you're not going to let me in? The answer is no. I said, wow, look how the world has changed. I have become a foreigner to Africa. Yet I was taken away from there. You see, that is the result of disease. You know, I remember when I was a Muslim. I remember when I was a Christian. I remember when I was in Buddha. But everything I remember was good. So, maybe it was because I learned some beautiful things in Islam and in Christianity that I'm able to put this information together. Because it's not about loving or hating, it's about understanding. You are my brothers, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Christian, whether whatever you are. Why? Because we were brothers before we became anything else. So in my little life, I spent time to look for the answer to our disease, and it was in the jungles of Africa. Now, what do? We begin the reconstruction. I put the compounds together, and they work. They work. And you let me know that. You were the one that gave me the courage to continue. Like Mr. Larry Daniels, who was there tonight. His diabetes was up to 600. And in 4 days, down normal. Is that true, Larry? You think I didn't see you, right? Larry is dead. This brother by the name of William Malloy from Philadelphia. When William got to Honduras, I was in the garden. I had a hole in my pants. You could see my behind. They called me and said, your patient is at the airport. I run with this pants and these ugly shoes that I wore. When the man saw me, he said, you know, I've been taken. When he got to the village, he had bone cancer. Right here in Philadelphia. He began the treatment. 4 days later, he hit the bed. Groaning and moaning for 9 days. They had to clean his fecal matter. He couldn't open his eyes. He was down for the count. On the 10th day, he resuscitated. And I'm going to town. And I saw Malone, William. I said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to town. I said, man, I thought you was dead. He said, I want to ride with you. He got in the car. He said, I got a story to tell you. I hated you. I hated you when you came to the airport and picked me up with that hole in your pants and with dirty shoes. I thought that you had me. I was stupid to come and see you because you didn't show or reflect anything intelligent enough to cure me of my cancer. But today I love you. I said, Malone, you always did. Like you. That's all you have in you, is love. But it has been umbrellaed or tempered with starch and blood. Not only are you going to hate me, you're going to hate yourself. You're going to blow your brains out. Why? Because it affects the central nerve system, which now calls for you and I to come together to provide ourselves with at least organically grown food. I can't do it by myself. I'm not that smart. We need each other. So, these compounds that you heard are made with phosphates, carbonates, iodides, and bromides, which according to science, they are food and vitalizers. They're going to help you. They're going to heal you. So yes, we got the Green Food Plus for the immune system and the brain. We have the BioFerro, that's for the blood. and purified. We have the viento, central nervous system and brain. We have the male, testo, and the female. We have the compounds that are made from natural, vegetation, cell food. That is the product that represents the African biomineral balance. All natural, organic. So, brothers, that love that we have tied up inside of us should come out now, because if it wasn't time, we wouldn't have this message. We should bring it out to protect ourselves from disease, because we have never been this sick in history. And it's good that we found a cure for every disease, including Ebola. Ebola isn't new. No, it isn't. We have cured Ebola before. The same way we cure AIDS. So when you ask, how do we do it? It's the African biomineral balance. That's easy. We use electric food. That's the message. Electric food for an electric body. So, brothers and sisters, I am going to bring this to a close with the understanding that the pursuit of health is the pursuit of love for ourselves and others. That is the African biomineral balance. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Oh,
shit. Damn. What you looking like that?
No. I was in Honduras. On my 55
We got him back.
Yeah. I fell out, but I wouldn't give up. I knew what it was. As a little boy, I used to have these headaches. Very bad headaches. Bad and excruciating. But nobody could tell me. The doctor didn't. Later on, it was a tumor on my brain. Came out. But there must be residual. Okay. I didn't stop. But tonight, in front of you, I was using a lot of energy. Yeah, I'm sitting in the chair. Yeah. this, that those of us that are below 70 or 70, it would behoove us to begin cleansing in increments or whichever way you find it easy for you. But it is necessary. Because if I, who have been 47 years into this profession, have things happening to him, but I'm 80. The last time I fasted for 90 days, I was only 30. Now I'm 80. I have to expect a little bit different behavior, a little bit different manifestation, a little bit different. When I'm on the plane, as the plane is taxiing to turn left, to take off, I got a pain across my chest. Excruciating pain. I want to tell the people on the plane to stop the pain and put me off. If I was someone else's patient, I would have done something with the police against that healer. But I am my patient. And I have to interpret things the proper way. It's a good thing that I am my patient to understand it. Because when a brother came from the Virgin Islands, the brother told me last week, I cannot breathe. My lungs are clogged. The brother took the compounds. 4 days later, he couldn't walk. His son is very angry at me. I'm paying you money to bring my father here, and my father cannot walk. I went to see the young man. I said, you know, if I had made you aware of what you were facing, you wouldn't feel the way you feel towards me right now. But let me tell you something, young man. Something is about to come out of you. A big ball of blood came out 2 days later that he didn't know he had in his intestines. So you see, the natural healing process is different from the one that we customarily are given. You know, the natural healing process is different. You're going to cleanse out 50 years of accumulated debris. Oh God. Wait. The other one is from Shashamani, Ethiopia. He said, Dr. Sebi, man, I'm dizzy. I'm dizzy, man. I can't walk. I cannot walk. I'm dizzy. I said, yeah, my sister told me that last week. I took your stuff and I'm drunk. Mercedes, my sister, only 2 of us left. The older brother and the younger one, the sister. I'm drunk. I said, yeah, I know you're drunk. 2 days later, she said, I feel good though. She's no longer drunk. The man from Shashamani, he passed something through his penis that he was frightened. He brought it to me in a bottle. So, I have to take on this patient that has seen doctors for many years. The disease has compounded. And it comes to me when I have to struggle now to take it from a low ebb, brought back to normal. Now, we're going to go into this other part, Christine Punter. Who is Christine Punter? A sister like you, She had skin cancer, but she could only pay me for 1 week. Do you believe that I could cure skin cancer in a week? The answer is no. What am I to do now? Kick her out? No. No. I had to heal Christine, and she was there 3 months. But when she left, she was cured. Who helped me to give her that, to afford her that? Nobody. And since Christine, there were many brothers and sisters that didn't have the sufficient money. But that is shameful, isn't it? It's embarrassing. Why? Dr. Sebi owned a healing center, and you have to pay him money to go to it. That doesn't sound too good. No. Because Dr. Sebi doesn't like money. And he doesn't want you to pay him. So what are we going to do? We put together the Bolingo Health Family. What is the Bolingo Health Family? It is a $200 million project. A $200 million project. What is the project? Health centers in every major American cities. Where we would afford you the best cuisine, the best treatment, herbs, environment, and also a food co-op. That's one. The other, in the project, you will own the health center that I represent now, the Usha Village. It would no longer be mine. I own, like it gives you privilege or some kind of prestige when the family is sick. No, this isn't about fame. This is about helping. So as we own, I said it to you. I said you the village. Now we put a committee together to run it. And together we could maintain it with maybe only $1 a month. And all of us that are sick could go to the village now. And those that cannot go to the village, well, we're going to find a way to help you here. That is family. In the project, there is a refrigerated boat that would bring products from Central and South America, fruits that you never heard of before. We're going to make a cereal out of the natural banana. They call it moco. They call it chata. They call it burro. We're going to make a cereal to bring to you. We're going to bring the thermal water that has a pH of 9.8. All these things are at our fingertips. We're going to train, to begin with, 7 sisters. As for right now, we only have 5. No, we only have 2. We're looking for 5 that will represent the African biomineral balance and the Bolingo family. Right now, there are many African countries that are interested in me. But as you know, I need help. I need help more than you. So you see why we need to come together. Sure, we're going to train these sisters in the art of healing, the biomineral way, the African way. There is such thing as the Ayurvedic, which is Indian, which is good for Indians. There is the macrobiotic. They eat a lot of rice. That's Japanese. That's also good to them. Then there is the allopathic and the homeopathic. That's oxide. That's good for Europeans. But in all of this, I didn't hear anything from Mama. How come the herbalists didn't think of Mama? Why we didn't think of Mama? Everybody has something representing their Mama, but us. Why not? So when I went before the Supreme Court, I talked about the African bio-mineral balance. Dr. Victor Herbert said, I have never heard of such a thing. Excuse me. Thank you. I've never heard of such a thing. I said, Your Honor, Dr. Victor Herbert is 100% right. You have never heard of the African biomineral balance. But we have to remind him that he has not heard of a whole lot of other things. And that the African biomineral balance happened to be one of those things. The judge asked me, what is the African biomineral balance? It is a therapeutical approach that cures disease on two levels. An intracellular chelation or cleansing. Meaning, we are not going to cleanse the organ. We're going to cleanse the very cell that makes up the organ. The next step is nourishing the body back to health. Cleansing and rebuilding. That is the African biomineral balance. And we use organic foods. You see, we have something to be proud about. Of course, we always did it. You know that. Benjamin Banneker, George Washington Carver, Charles Drew, Elijah McCoy. All these men are outstanding in science. But why not us today? We could do it. We could come together, not only heal ourselves, but the world itself. Right now they claim that Africa is suffering with Ebola. No. Africa is anemic. Africa is anemic. The immune system of Africa has been compromised. What are they feeding Africa? Corn and soy. Are we going to interfere in that arrangement? No. We have to take care of home base first. But I think that we could treat both simultaneously because we are that innovative. You have shown it over the years. You made me. I used to hobnob with Ron Kalinga. Still start out with Brother Jeremiah Shabazz, the baddest of the baddest Muslims ever. I met Messenger Elijah Muhammad. I heard his wisdom, assimilated much of it. So you see, in the quest for the cure of diseases, you did it, not me. See, I was born in Honduras, in a little village by the name of Ilanga. In a thatched house, my mama was only 18 when she had me. Third floor. I remember when I was 3 years of age and how I used to play by the river because it run nearby. My mother always will be the God that I worship. My mother. My mother told me on her deathbed, nothing you said I believed in because I didn't know how to process it. Nothing you said I understood. I said, I know that, Mama. But what I like about you is that I live long enough to see the fruit of your labor. I love my mommy. She was the one that showed me how to conduct myself all through my life. But at times, she was displeased with me because of things that was happening around me. I had 3 wives. She didn't like that. She could not understand that. I didn't either. But I found myself in 3 women. Soon thereafter they left. Now I'm a bachelor. And I like it. I was married for 50 years of my life. And it still plagued me. I have a little girl by the name of Taiwan. She's 3.5 years old. I have a little boy, David. He's 7 months old. And I am today cursing myself for having to change diapers at 81. You know that's a shame. But I have to address these babies, this little girl. The little girl, Poppy, what's that? Poppy, what's this? The little boy, well, all he could do is scratch me. Like I was scratching my forehead. And I have a 19 years old that runs the village. And I had to raise her too by myself. I had to raise Tyra ever since she was 9 months because her mother became deathly ill. But it was me and my baby. A 78 years old man with a baby 9 months old. I got to feed her. I couldn't feed her rice and beans and potatoes or meat. I had to feed her what? Sea moss and hemp milk. But there's Taiwan. She will be 4 in February 26th. The same day with my mother. She was born the same day with my mother, and she looks like my mother. And she behaved like my mother. and I look at this little girl and her character. I never beat my children because I don't think we need to do that. But I'm having these babies yet. I hope there's not another one. Because I have to go to Africa, I have to go to Barbados, I have to go to South America. They came to interview me from Ecuador. I got to go to Chile. I speak Spanish. So tonight, even though I have been fasting for 60 days, 62 days, 61 days tonight, I couldn't let you down. When you fast, you're not supposed to be doing this much talking, you know. It drains you. But I had to come. Anyway, because you showed me much love. I remember Reverend Shepherd. And there's a sister here named Bethany that makes the best veggie sandwich in the world. Sister Beth, well, I'm not going to eat until December the 20th. So I hope that when I come back to Philadelphia, me and Ibrahim could eat Sister Beth's burgers, because they are delicious. Then there's Marina, the sister that introduced me. Pretty black woman, isn't it? Yeah, she's pretty. Beautiful sister too. So, Philadelphia, I want you to know that I love you. I love you because you showed me much love. Tonight is full with a lot of emotion to see so many of you here, because I was dedicated to this. I was a steam engineer at Martin Luther King Hospital in Los Angeles. And I would go to work every night saying, you know, you're jiving. You're jiving. You can't do this. You know that healing exists. Give it. I quit my job. 1980. All my co-workers, white, black, Filipinos, they said, you're crazy. Maybe so. But I want to heal. I want to heal people. I was dedicated to this. I was married to a beautiful woman then, Marilyn Woods. I said, Marilyn, I've got to leave you. She said, is there another woman? I said, no. But I have to leave you because I'm going to suffer. And I don't want you suffering with me. And indeed, 5 years, I hit the dirt. I left my job, I went to Dominica, and they kicked me out. Miss Mary Eugenia Charles said, get out. I went to St. Croix. Nobody liked me. I went to Puerto Rico. They didn't want to hear it. I'm black. I can't do anything. I'm handicapped. And I remember Maryland until when I went to New York and I was put in jail and I won the case. That's when everything began to change. But like everything else, I had to pay my dues, right? I had to make this night possible. And to see that I grew up, the little boy that didn't go to school, that I didn't like anything. Because I didn't. Out of that, I learned to respect. When my children said to me, Daddy, I don't like that. Oh, I knew the child was right because I remember me. But there was a man in the group, Mr. Boyd Renault, a tailor. My mother said, you're gonna be a tailor. I went to the tailor shop for a week. I got tired of that and threw the tailor at the man. And went to the river and played all day. I was 12. When I'm 49, I went back as a healer. I went to the tailor shop. And there is Mr. Renard. He said to me, I know you. You are the one that threw a tail at me 37 years ago. He called his wife. You know him? She comes out. Hi, Fred. I say, hi, Mrs. Renard. You know, I said, I'm embarrassed right now because I remember throwing the tail at this man. He looked at my wife and asked my wife, did he tell you that he didn't go to school? Yes, he did. Did he also tell you that he didn't like anything? Yes, he did. What is he doing? He's healing. He said, you're healing. I said, yes. You like that? I said, yes. He said, you're going to heal me. I haven't slept in 5 years. I hadn't slept the very following night. He said to me, I'm glad that day when you threw the tail at me, that I didn't feel bad, and that I lived to see the day that I'm glad that you didn't become a tailor. Because if you had, I would not be here today. You see, we have to learn to respect. But disrespect only comes because of our disease. We are sick. We are very sick. And I may be the sickest. How do you know? But let us put forth that little effort into healing ourselves. I cannot criticize a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddha, a Shinto, or whoever. Why? Because I am aware that I too carry the same gene as all of you. You are my brothers. And that we should be happy to tell the world, we your age, not he. The German told me that in Munich. When I went to Germany, he said, hold it. The group of people said, you are not going to show us any history or empirical evidence. We want science. So yeah, okay. I went to a blackboard with that piece of chalk. And when I was through with them, they didn't have anything to say against. Then he said to me, who do you expect to help you? I said, the world. He said, the world doesn't cure AIDS. A black man cures AIDS. So who is supposed to help you? I said, the black race then. I said, but they can't. He said, why? Because your brother did a very bad damage to their brain. Can't you see? I'm not blaming white people for doing what they did to us. That was a natural occurrence because it happened among themselves too. But now, we are the ones responsible for taking us out of that state of disease. And it's easy. It's very easy. Because if it was difficult, I would not be able to address disease. I'm the little boy that didn't go to school. But I was able to find these compounds. I was led to it. Not that I am smart. Because I'm not. I'm not intelligent. I'm you. Everything you are, I am. So together, with you and your strength, and the little bit of information that I have, we could move on and do the right thing. Because today, we are deceitful. We embezzle each other. We lie to each other. You know, when you indulge in lying to your brother or your sister, I used to be so angry at brothers and sisters for doing that. But you know what I learned? It comes out of the state of nervousness, which is disease. That's why we put in Bolingo together, to eliminate that. That those of us who are members of Bolingo, we would begin the process of showing the love that existed in the continent among us. We could bring it back, and that we gonna come clean. You do not undermine a brother. You do not lie to a brother or a sister. Don't do that. Because about the sisters, well, brother knows that the sister is stronger than him. Of course you are not. I have no problem with that. The elephant shows it. The lioness shows it. You too. But because of the philosophies that was brought to us, and we were defenseless, woman, you better shut your mouth. I wear the pants. Yeah, but she answered, you came out of my vagina. So who is better than who? It's not about better. It's not about losing or winning. It's about complimenting. Because when I was in Brazil, you know, I went to buy a piece of land for Michael Jackson. A key in Bahia, Brazil. And I'm staying at this hotel. And this Mexican is messing with this Frenchman, telling the Frenchman, you French people, you guys don't make tequila, you're dumb. We are the Mexicans, we need tequila. And the Frenchman told the Mexican, hey Raul, I forgot I think that you forgot who made champagne. So we all started laughing. Then the Russian said to me, but what are you going to say about your family, Sebi? I said, I think I have something to say about my family. And you better watch it. Why? Because your mama didn't have any clothes on 500 years ago. So I said to Madanov, his name is Georgie Madanov. I said, Madanov, what did you say that my mama didn't have any clothes on? He said, yeah. I said, did you all right with my mama? So the Frenchman said, yeah, you better defend her. I said, I don't have to defend her. He already did. That my mama in the jungles of Africa walked around without no clothes among our brothers and sisters and neighbors and friends, and nobody was jumping on her. Then she showed that she lived in a highly ethical society and a highly moral one. Do it now. Take your clothes off and walk the street and see who is beside you. Then, I think you said that mama didn't have any clothes. She in a hospital, clothes, money, alcohol, prostitution. She didn't have anything. So you see, I am her son. And this is why I am sinless. I wasn't born in sin. I don't even know what sin is. We come out the jungles. Out the jungles, you do not find religion. You do not find philosophy. You find people that are cosmically connected. All of us are beautiful. And everybody on the planet. You mean to tell me that nature made them and they were not supposed to be made? You mean to tell me that Chinese are not supposed to be on the planet? Of course. Eskimos too. White people too. And brothers and sisters too. So what we see here is the same expression you find in the forest. Different color flowers. But I am proud to know that I am a member of Urua. Urua took me to this level of understanding. Urua, the first commandment, and there are only three. The first commandment of Urua, you are number one. You have to be number one. Why? This thumbprint guarantees that. This thumbprint makes you different. That's number one commandment. You are number one. Second commandment, do not afford yourself anything that hurts. Don't do that. Because that's the only thing you own. You. Don't offend yourself by putting something in your mouth that would offend you. And third and last commandment of Urua, offend no one or anything. That's Dr. Sebi, your brother, no more, no less than you. I'm happy to be with you tonight. Of course I am. You are my brothers and sisters that I have spent these 47 years working for. I'm not bringing you philosophy or religion. I'm not bringing you politics and revolution. I may be bringing revolution with love. Like Miss Watkins told us that night in 1968 in Los Angeles. She said, you guys are crazy. Because in 1968, I was with the revolutionary, the Black Panther Party. I was in LA thinking that I was doing the right thing. That's far from the truth. We were doing it in Mrs. Watkins' house. Present was her son Mel and Bob, myself and Chaka Litron, talking about revolution. The lady opened the door and she said, you know, you guys are crazy. In your conversation, love was not in the equation, and slammed the door. And we said, love? Like love was a nasty word. But love is what you like. I like it. Of course I like it. I like to be loved. You do. But now, it is difficult for many of us because of the food that we're eating. How I know that? I hated my mother-in-law. This cloud. Because of her, I'm not married to my wife. And when I went on the fast and I stopped eating garbage, the only person that I could think of was Clara. I said, oh my God. When I got off the fast, I went to look for Clara to give her a television and to ask her for forgiveness. I love you, Clara. I love you. Clara told me, I heard you bought a gun to kill me. I said, that's the God, and that's the truth. That's how insane I were. You see, when you're crazy, you don't know it. People got to tell you, hey, you're nuts. But that was okay. I love Clara. I love everybody. That's why, when I think of brotherhood and sharing love, Brother Robert used to come and bring me, hey, Brother Alfred, I know you're hungry because your ships are tied up. I know you haven't had anything to eat. Robert will bring me this fish head and give me 50 cents. That's in New Orleans. And I would boil this fish head, make me a soup, buy me a pound of rice, buy me some sweet potatoes, onions and bell pepper and tomatoes. I got myself a meal. That is my experience in Islam. It was a brotherhood. I met Brother Jeremiah Shabazz, I met Malcolm, I met Elijah, and I remember the messenger, the day of Holy Apostle when he was cutting the meat loaf. He was cutting a meat loaf because I went to see him. And it was dinner time. I'm sitting at the table with the messenger. And while he's cutting this meat, he looked at us and said, one day, we are going to have to stop eating meat. He said that. Out of his mouth, I heard it. Nobody told me the messenger said that. So look, Marcus Garvey, Elijah Muhammad, Noble Drew Ali, all these men, H. Rap Brown, a brother I met from New Orleans, from Baton Rouge. I know all these people. Which one should be criticized when each one brought their idea of blackness to uplift us? Which one should be criticized? I receive from all of them. You see, I am not a discriminator. Each brother was born to give something good. You do. All of us. Today, because of where we find ourselves with ill health, then it means that we start to train our attention not to philosophy now. No, we can't do that anymore because that's not helping us. We have to go to what? Healing ourselves. That from that step onwards, we could be happy with each other because we have love in us. But like I said, that starts in blood. I went to see a lady that offered me some money to come and talk to her about what I do in her house. And I did. But it was a 12 years old little girl scratching on a piece of paper while I'm talking to her mother. And when I was through, the little girl said to me, I know what you told Mama. No, I spent a whole hour talking to her mother, but she could have told me she know what I told her mother. I said, what did I tell you, Mama? You told Mommy that starch and blood would cause a flood that floods the brain, that brings the pain, that makes us lame. A little 12 years old girl. I gotta mention another 12 years old. And if you believe that what I'm saying doesn't have merit, train your eyes and listen to a 12 years old from now onwards. A little girl, you listen to her. And what comes out of her mouth gonna frighten you, but it is consistent and it is truthful. They are taking me to Columbia University to give a speech. And the little girl is sitting in the back, she's 12, and the brother said to me, what are you going to talk about today? I said, I don't know. You don't know. You're half an hour away from a speech. Doesn't matter. Talk about the soul, mind, and spirit. The little girl said, you better not. You better not do that. I said, why, Taina? Her name is Taina. She said, because you know I hate you. I'm always hate you, Dr. Sebi. You see what happened? The little girl had to hate me. She had a profuse vaginal discharge. It was very nasty and ugly, unsmelling. What was going on with Taina? She never had sex. She's only 12. She liked to eat cheese, butter, egg, which is breaking her membrane in her reproductive organ. I took it all away from her. Then she hated me. But she said, you know what? You tell the truth. And if you talk about the soul, man, and spirit, you are a liar. I said, why, Taina? Because those things didn't come out of reality. They came out of the imagination. A 12 years old little girl going to tell me this? Is she right? But when I ask people where is the soul, they go in here. I ask them where is the mind, they go up here. And when I ask them where is the spirit, they go in here again. So, I don't know these things, because I don't know. I don't know. I know this, that in looking at the food that spiritual people eat, I don't want to be spiritual.
No. I watch what they eat, and then it will tell me that they are spiritual. Maybe eating garbage means spirituality. You know? Can't do that. You gotta live truth. You have to live truth. So tonight, I came to say that when I woke up this morning, I said, boy, I hope that I could deliver a lecture because I'm still kind of dizzy. And I'm going to go through this for another 15 to 20 days. But I'm not going to give up because I know that at 81, I must have accumulated a whole lot of things. But even though I feel the discomfort, overall, I know I'm healing because there are parts of me that I'd shut down back into life again. In my head, my left eye, everything about me. So I recommend to you tonight that if you could begin the process of only eating alkali food and eventually you graduate to not eating, it would be a plus. Everything that happened to you would go away. And that which is trapped, that never had the opportunity to come out, you will experience that. A love unlimited, not only for yourself, but for everyone around you, for everyone. So yes, this comes out of that naked woman in the jungles of Africa. Phosphates, carbonates, iodides, and bromides. That's why she lived so healthy. Because she didn't have anything that was dead in her stomach. So the sperm, this is the better part. The sperm that daddy delivered into her uterus, the sperm that makes babies, was not of the same quality of sperm that we deliver today. Why? Because it has been tinged with what? With meat. I eat lamb. I eat hog. I eat chicken. And then I'm going to go make love to my wife. I eat eggs. I'm going to go make love to her and make a baby. And then when the baby was autistic, what happened here? But look at the baby carefully. They all look alike. Mongoloid. Why? Because their head is full of what? Mucus. The one disease that exists. There is only one disease in the world. Never two. And this could be the mistake that we've been making. That we have compartmentalized disease. When you have diabetes, AIDS, sickle cell, you have 3 different diseases. Not so. You have one. The mucous membrane has been compromised. And wherever that compromise takes place, you will show the name and the manifestation of a disease. If it's in your nasal passage, sinusitis. If the mucus is on the lungs, bronchitis, pneumonia. If it's in the bronchial tubes, it's bronchitis. If it's AIDS, it's in the skin, the lymphatic system, and the blood, which makes up the immunological system. That's AIDS. It's mucus. So we begin the process of the mucus removal from the system as quick as you possibly can. It will affect you later. I'm 81, and I'm like paying attention to you, I'm like the tailor that wore the worst suit. I'm like the shoemaker that wears the worst shoes. I'm the healer that forgot about himself, thinking that 51 years ago, when he first fasted for 90 days, that I could become careless. No. No. Not at all. I have to pay the dues to understand. So now, I am fasting. How many more minutes I have on the planet? I don't know. But I want to live without helping. So I said, I got to give myself this extended fast. My friend Mel, Mr. Mel Watkins, came over to visit me, and he heard me coughing and coughing and coughing. He said, "What's the matter with you?" I said, "I don't know, but I've been coughing." Why? My manager now, Jenny, was bringing me every day a little mug of soup that I like. It's a vegetable soup. Oh my God, I went crazy. I could eat vegetable soup forever now. And I've been drinking 2 and 3 of them a day. One day, one of the persons that work at the desk from Eritrea, named Jordanus, ran upstairs and said to me, the vegetable soup had chicken in it. Oh my God. That's only 3 months ago, 2 months ago I'm talking about. I'm eating chicken. After stopped eating chicken for 50 years, the soup was using chicken stock. You see why I was coughing? You see why I have to fast to get it out? No, not again. So I said, that's okay. When I get off this fast, I'm going to make my own soup because I can cook. So yes, in essence, between you and I, we could change this state of things. We could come together to form Polingo. Everybody's calling from all over the world. London, Bermuda, Barbados, want to join Polingo. Why not? I want to be a member of Polingo. Why? I've cured AIDS and sickle cell and blindness and diabetes and cancer and paralysis. I have never been this excited. Why? Because I could see the family coming together around what was taken away from us. Why are we enemies today? Because health was removed from us. And it happened to be that the very thing that they removed from us is going to now galvanize us, our health. You see, brothers and sisters, full circle, blaming no one for anything. Like your brother in Russia said, Alexander Pushkin, there could be no occurrence unless that occurrence is supposed to have occurred. So we're not going to blame the white man or the Chinese or the Arab or the Eskimo for anything. If that occurrence that occurred wasn't supposed to have occurred, how did it?
Thank you for allowing me the privilege.
You sent your products all the way to Hawaii for me. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yes.
That's
yes. I remember that. Thank you.
All right, give another round of applause for Dr. Sebi. All right, listen up. How y'all feeling out there? Y'all been sitting for a long time, right? All right, after this right here.
Where am I going to see you? Okay, good. Good.
All right.
All right, brother.
After this right here, if you're not even if you're interested, if you're ready to have fun, ready to get down, we're gonna have actually a vegan feast at Black and Nobel Bookstore, 1409 West Area Avenue. I'll repeat it again. If you're interested in the vegan fest and live band and feast, please come on out to Black and Nobel Bookstore, 1409 West Area Avenue. Admission is $10. There will be vendors and food vendors of all types there, so you can come through. Thank you. Peace and love. Please, as you go out, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, please support the vendors. Please support the vendors as you move out, because they came to provide you with products, a good time, energy, and information. Please.
Thank you. Okay, Brother Toby, let's roll.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Jump in. Let's go.
Wow.
We got the Sebi.
I got my signature.
Get the picture started.
Hello there. You
Oh, yes. You were with her.
Okay, well, that's a good look right there.
She was right.
Y'all go ahead and get your
Dr. Sebi.
Oh, nice.
You good smile?
We gotta go. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
Hey, Dr. Sebi, you know James Dunn, Dr. Sebi? Of course I do. That's my best friend. I love him so much.
All right. Again, if you're interested, please, not even just interest, if you want to have a good time,